Now let's see another interesting one. A Jaguar I-Pace electric. It's a non-starting. Well, so we know this is an auction car with a massive question mark to see why it doesn't start. Customer, what he knows, it says that is an ex-finance company that was recovered, has caliper disconnected. We don't know why. We want to put some power on because battery is disconnected, and let's see if we have any ignition, if we have any response for the car. So this is what we know so far. We can see the battery being disconnected here, and then this also insulated separately. Why? No really idea. I just want to see if we're gonna have any reaction from the car. Let's see. First of all, okay, we need okay, so we have the positive disconnected and also the negative. For some reason they have taken off two nuts in here, so let's get two nuts connected and see what's happening with the car. Now the big question mark is why it is disconnected. Is there an issue with the high voltage battery? Because that's where things becomes complicated and expensive. So far let's connect the 12-volt battery, put a booster if we need, and take it from there. I'm going to bring some more tools and bolts. Got what we need to get connected. So let's see. We are connecting the positive. Always this should be the order. Now let's see what is going to happen here. Nothing happens. We might not even have a charge in this battery. Let's see, do we have any reaction from the car? No, nothing. Let's see, the battery might be discharged. So let's put the booster on. Positive always first. Negative second. Okay, so it draws a lot of current, which tells us the battery is flat. So okay, so we do have some reaction now. Yeah, so the car reacts, but now let's see if the ignition comes on and what's happening in the dashboard. Okay, goes down. Let's see. Okay, to drive, stop careful, battery fault detected. Uh-oh. So you won't allow us to engage anything. Okay. You won't allow us to engage any gear. It says battery fault detected. Although it shows 55%. See? It shows 55. Yeah, it shows more than half. So we have battery charge. Brake pedal feel reduced. So we have some error messages. Now, the next thing is to run a diagnostic to see what errors we're gonna find on control units on the car, and then make a plan from there. So let's see what it's gonna take to get this Jaguar alive. So the scan is ready. Count of faults is 48, but a lot of them are intermittent. The problem comes here where permanent. So this is kind of concerns us. Left motor. It looks like on the parking brake something might be disconnected. High voltage interlock. So we believe I can see something on the back seat. They might have disconnected the service connector, so we need to do that first and then see how many of them we can delete, because we have a lot of permanent fault, and then we'll see exactly what's going to be left. So let's turn the ignition off. On this car, like it is on all vehicles with high voltage battery, whenever work has to be performed to the high voltage system, the service connector has to be disconnected. Oh, look. Okay, so those are the motors for the parking brakes. So probably they mark them near side and off side. So probably what they've done, the parking brake was stuck, and they've just removed, so unwind the motors so they can release the parking brake. So let's lift up the seat. So this is the place. Okay, this is where the service connector is. It should, but it's disconnected, and we don't have it. We just run into an issue. Where is the service connector? Now, I don't really understand what they've done here. So this is not a service connector as initially suspected. Those are the high voltage cables, and that's not the way that should be done. It looks like in here it is the service connector that has to be turned off. So look, see, it has on and off position. So we need to take this cable tie out, and then we should put in probably an Allen key to turn it on or off, and then operate the high voltage. So now, after doing some research, we understood there is a need of a key like this to turn the service connector on and off. And actually, what we have realized, it is in off position. So they put it. This is like a service key, and it's only going to be in the workshop. So they put it in the off position. They disconnect the high voltage cable. Now the question is why they've done that. Is there an issue with the car? So the next point, as we have it in an off position, is it is now safe to connect the high voltage cable and then resume the testing. So initially we had 48 faults on the car. We know some of them, they are related with the rear calipers. Let's connect the high voltage cable and see how many of them we can manage to delete and what else we're going to find. So this should be straightforward. We don't have voltage here since the service connector is in the off position. That's on. So now we are gonna turn it on. Ooh, suspense. Let's see. It should. Okay. So that's simple so far. No strange noises. Let's scan it again. We need to turn the ignition on, and then we're gonna do a quick erase of the fault. So the counter initially was 48. Let's see what we're going to be left after a rescan and try to delete faults. So we have rescanned the car, however, still 19 faults we're having. Now, some of them wouldn't really matter. The one related with parking, because obviously it's been forced on neutral. Parking brake, which is also fine because the caliper motors are off. The problem here comes currently on the battery energy control module. It says high voltage system interlock circuit open. Now we put a service in the on position, however we're still having those faults, and then low voltage to the electric air compressor and then front electric motor inverter. So it looks like there's more to it, and it's always the case, never straightforward. Although we have some charge, I mean, we had this from the beginning, so we know the battery is it is not low, the high voltage battery. However, there's a very strange noise. Can you hear it? So if I try to select anything, any gear, it's a very strange noise. It looks like at this stage we will put a car in, and then we have to connect with the dealer tool and see exactly what we're going to uncover, because it's not going to be just a straightforward connecting the high voltage battery. So there's more to it. Let's see what is that more. That's the time to push the Jaguar in, because we need to check more. Eventually we might even put it on the ramp to take the high voltage battery off. We have to see. It's going to be a bit of investigation work before we find exactly what's going on. Come on, Claudia! He's running. Let's go straight on the street, guys, because he's running. He's driving. You have brakes? Yeah. Time to put the car up in the air and see what exactly are we going to find. We are going to take the under tray off to check the high voltage connector. How many are left? Let's
4, I think.
okay. Let's go on. Let's see if we're going to see something here. From the stage that this car was driving up to the stage that now it has faults of communication. So, oh, okay, look. So the high voltage connectors are disconnected. See, those one, they're not okay how they are. Why did they left it disconnected? Big question mark. Anything else? Clean.
Yeah.
Well, let's connect it. Will it drive afterwards? We've connected the high voltage connector. Still lots of faults when we scan the car. Okay, well, we're gonna proceed and clear all of them. So we had 26 faults. Let's see what is going to be the count after this deletion, because some of them, they still there related with the parking brake motors that they disconnected, but yes, it's not going to be a massive issue. I think we still have something more in here. So we have 16 left. So we started with 40 something, so the count is coming down. I want to try one thing at the moment. I want to see if this vehicle goes on charge. Do we have the cable for the charge? No charge. The Jaguar still not alive. So we have to resume our research with what have we done so far. So we've seen a lot of things disconnected. The battery wire, the safety, the service connector, the high voltage cables, a lot of faults we managed to clear, but still the car is not running. So there is more to it. And big question mark: why all these have been unplugged? Why? There's a massive why. So we have to resume the research and go a bit deeper into the electrics of this car before we manage to get this running. So now, after clearing all those faults, we have a bit of sound from the car, which is good. We have ready coming on. Where is ready? Ah, ready here, but still no charging system fault detected. Okay, but we have ready, so we've connected. We also have parking brake operating, so we narrow it down. The vehicle drives actually. Can you put in drive? Tends to move. Does he want to go? No, it still doesn't want to go. Yeah, it's more than, but the parking brake works, so we gradually start having something working. Still not rolling. Investigation keeps going on to get this Jaguar rolling. We are only down to about 5 volts. It is the time to check the charger. Is the ignition off? Can I try? Yep. Let's see. The problem is yesterday we weren't getting any lights. Has anything changed after we've connected those terminals? We managed to clear lots of faults. If no lights are coming on, we know there's more work to do on the wiring, and there's no lights coming on at all. Oh, yeah, it's only power up, but no charge and no lights. Nothing. Do you have anything on the dash? No, nothing. There's more to it. More dismantling been done. Still, the charger is no use. Some more sensors were disconnected behind the onboard charger. It's very strange. Why so many plugs, sensor they've been disconnected? Because so far, after we've connected, also on the onboard charger, it was a connector disconnected, we've been only left with one fault on the getaway, and that's a message, battery monitoring message missing. So we believe there is another connector missing. However, at this stage, after connecting all those, so if we recap, at the back we had the high voltage service key missing. Then on the high voltage we have the two connectors to the onboard charger and probably the electric motor, both of them disconnected. Then obviously 12-volt battery, the negative from the auxiliary battery, another connector from the fuse box here, another connector from the onboard charger, the parking brake motor. So a lot of components disconnected, but at the moment we don't really see anything obvious wrong with the car. So this is quite strange. And let's see, this is the test with the charger. First of all, we have light. Now this, if it goes blue, we know it's fine. If it goes red, it's not fine. But we know it should go green. Green is not fully charged. Green usually goes when it's fully charged, but on the charger, we see now it's charging, which was not before. So significant progress, but even more. Thank you very much. So we have ready. But we also have gears. And the car is rolling. It's a very interesting one. Don't understand why so many connectors disconnected. Only fault that we have left on the dash is the SOS, and when we scan it, it is the battery that went down. It's kind of expected because it stood without a battery for quite a long time, so I'm not sure if that is gonna recharge itself. It might need a battery on SOS. But we see no faults on this car from auction. You know, the surprise from auction. Why? What happened? What is gonna need to be fixed? So this, it might seem just a lot of things disconnected, but nothing really with the car. But nothing really wrong with the car. But oh, look at that. This is undone. Huh? Is this gonna fall apart? Why? Why so many things disconnected? I don't know. Oh my god, this is gonna fall out. So we really need to give a comprehensive check, make sure the things are not gonna fall apart when we're gonna go down the road. But so far looks good. We gonna do a quick check over on the wheel suspension, make sure we're gonna see any other possible problem to have them rectified. We're gonna tighten the steering wheel when we're gonna have it on a road test to make sure that the car drives. But we made significant progress since we started. We had it off a recovery, had to push it to have it rolling. So let's see, we soon gonna have it ready. Fast forward on a Jaguar, we have tested the car and all looked good, no error codes, and it's actually driving fine. Handed over to Nick, the customer. However, only 2 days and not a lot of miles after that. I just been off the phone with him. It seems that some error codes came on a dash related with the high voltage system. So there is more to the Jaguar. It's very strange because it drove a bit without any errors, but there is more to it. We are due to have the car in, and then we have to recheck it. We have to rescan it to see what has came back on, and then from there, obviously, we have to start investigating more. Still a question mark to why this car ended up to auction, but we have to find out, and obviously hopefully we're gonna find the fix to get this Jaguar fault free. Let's see. When we start working on the car, we had the count about 48 faults, and now we are down to 2, which is significant progress. And what is more important, on ignition we have actually ready coming on. That's good, but already not. Drive with caution, high voltage system fault. So it is more to it. So it's actually not 2 faults. It is more than that when we scanned it, because we already done a road test on it. It doesn't look too good. So it looks like there are hidden problems on the car, and problems on the high voltage system, something that everyone wants to avoid, on not to hear about, because when it comes to high voltage, definitely my can get very expensive now. Question: why everything being disconnected? Is that they thought is a possible hazard and they disconnected? It is a mystery so far, and our problem is in here, in the battery energy control unit. Our concerning fault is this: battery voltage isolation fault. Now, although this fault is quite generic, it says somewhere down the line on the high voltage system there is an insulation fault and there's a current leak to the chassis. So it doesn't seem that bad, since it still allows the car to drive, but there is a problem nevertheless. Done some research. This can be also be rectified with a software update, which we are going to attempt first. We moved the Jaguar around, and now we have it hooked up with a power supply. We have scanned it, and it's an interesting fact that now we have more faults into the battery energy control unit. We have our insulation fault that it was coming first, but then we have front electric motor, and then rear electric motor. Now, for me, I would say it's a bit strange that both of those components they have a fault. Well, it's not unlikely, but first of all, we have to run a software update, and as we already checked, it is an update available for this module, the battery energy control module software update. Is just going to check now. And if there is an update available, of course, this is the first thing to be performed, because often glitches like this can be solved with a software update. So newer car, this is a very common occurrence that we see very often. Make sure if the vehicle runs latest version of software. So the procedure has been completed successfully. After clearing all the errors, we are running another integrity test. Basically, this procedure, what it does, it scans once again all the vehicle control units, and it's going to tell us if any errors are present currently. If there are no error present, this will be the time to run a road test. So currently everything is in green, a color that we like to see. No errors on it. This is the time where we're gonna head off in a road test. Nothing on the dashboard, but will it stay like that? This is the big question. Just want to cycle the ignition quickly, lock, and unlock the car. Ready, let's see, any errors coming? Gears engaging. See? And it's not good. Yeah. So the story continues. It doesn't end here. Yeah, same thing, same thing. So there's more to it. Okay, so coming back to the workshop scanning again, the installation isolation fault is still here. It's not what we want to see. It would have been a quick fix, an easy fix, but it's not. So we have to call it a day today, and then resume it probably tomorrow. We have to see what's the workload, because we have another electric one, but this is definitely gonna be more to it. So we'll catch up in the morning. We will now have the car on the ramp, stripping the high voltage system and starting doing some installation tests, because we need to figure out where the problem comes from. So let's get on. Now this is the situation that I was kind of concerned. Taking everything off, the rear motor to access the motor, to access the inverter, do an installation test, the front one. The problem is it's so hard to access any of those, and then because the way it behaves, that is under load, I was concerned that we might end up in the position where we got everything stripped and we're not gonna see anything. So where we're standing now, we've got a problem. We don't know where exactly it is. There's no test that we can do now, because although with the insulation test we put 1,000 volts through it, is a very low amp, so it doesn't really replicate the live real scenario. So the only thing that we're gonna do, we'll try to we're gonna put everything back on the car again in a test drive, try to replicate the problem. Now it would be amazing if we can get to the stage where the problem is going to be permanent, because that's when we're going to see it, but we don't know how far we are from that position. So this is not going to be easy, I know for certain. So we spend a lot of time taking those two motors off and we still haven't found an issue. So that's not good, but we'll try, hopefully replicate the issue. If it's more permanent, we should be able to see with the car on the ramp, see it then. So, and then only afterwards we will resume the problem. We've reattached the rear axle, all the electrics now in place. A bit more work with the front axle, looking here, and the access is so tight on all the electrics. We're getting close to put back the inverter, the onboard charger. Yeah, okay, and then finish everything off, and then get the car in another drive test, try to replicate the problem. Hopefully we get it permanent. It's more drama going now with the Jaguar, because now after we put everything back, the car doesn't even drive, and now we have a permanent fault with the traction battery. Now on the installation test that we've done now, the stability, SPC not available, traction battery fault detected. We've done some checks and we have narrowed down the problems. So it looks like we have an installation problem within the high voltage battery. So after the front motor down, rear motor down, all the checks, it looks like for some reason the problem, and we hope is our initial problem, is permanent, but we do see an issue within the high voltage battery, an installation failure. Next stop is to have the battery down, have it stripped, and check for that installation that we see outside when we do measurements from the battery. It looks like there's an installation issue. But this Jaguar is definitely coming. All the bits they coming out in order to get to the bottom of it. But now, up on the ramp, battery down, and we carry on. Ta-dum, ta-dum. Surprise! Oh, it is a surprise because there's more to it. Yeah, so those are the cells. Now, what are we going to do? We need to somehow remove. Okay, so this is the supply that goes out to the motor and the one that goes in from the battery, from the onboard charger. Now, what we have to do, we have to clear all the covers so we can get access to the cells to do our individual installation test. This involves removing BMS, the battery monitoring module. Those are some sensors collectors. So those are collecting data about the cells, voltage, and probably temperature, which then might feed it back to the battery monitoring system. And also this is the service plug, the one that switches on and off the high voltage circuit. Plan is to remove everything, then get those covers off to get access to the cells, and resume our installation checks and find what is shorting. What is shorting on this battery? So yeah, the battery module out. So we're going to take it all together. So our issue is that there is an installation problem on the battery, and it became permanent now, whereby it was intermittent, now it became permanent. So the way we do it with the installation tester, we are going to check the high voltage system leak to the chassis. So basically the body of the battery is also going to be the chassis of the car. And the way we do it, we connect one to earth, and then we are checking all our circuits now, and here it seems to be all right. We also put a load, so our expectancy is that this is gonna read very high on the blue scale, close to 500. If the gauge, if the needle goes down to close to 0, there is an installation issue, and this is the way we're gonna do it. And look at that, we no longer have an issue since we dropped the battery, since we dropped the cover. Okay, so that's gonna become difficult again. Now, here is gonna be a problem, because the problem that it was there is not now present. It was so easy, and this was our initial issue, that the issue was not permanent, and that's why it was making everything very difficult. Again, it's not permanent, but we have some understanding, because we know this circuit before it was testing bad for resistance, and now is absolutely fine. So now it's absolutely is exactly as the other ones. It does exactly as it should. The plan is that all this has to come out, and we need to follow up this circuit to see where it's possible that this was shorting, and no longer does since we take the cover off. Again, back to square one is going to be difficult. It's not easy always, isn't it? We're going to keep the resistance on and undo the cover bit by bit. One stage, if the needle goes all the way to the left, we know the issue should be on that segment of the cover. As yesterday, without the cover on, we had no resistance. This moment, Lali is leading. Harry is a bit behind by about 2 bolts. Still some more bolts to be undone before we can lift up the cover. Oh, that's what it is. So here's the problem. We came to the bottom. Undo it. Undo that again. So here is our problem. For some reason, the bolt is securing the cover onto the distribution plate. This is a plastic plate with the distribution. So in here, there is a short. Wow, look at that, it went down to 0. Down to infinite. As soon as you put that one back, and we haven't seen anything. I had the plates off. I could not see a thing on it. Lal doesn't know how to operate with the machine. That's fine. Aha. Look, now it didn't came back on. Do this other one up. That's it. Down to. Under the other one. Down to 0. Okay. Do me. Ah, those are tights, yeah?
This is the module.
Look at that. Look at that. So here's the problem. Those two, they do something. They do something on the high voltage circuit. The whole they're supposed to just secure the plates onto this plastic bracket. My God, there's something in here which we have not seen yesterday when we had the plates off. Okay, so what I'm thinking to do, yeah, we're gonna take the plates off and we're gonna put the bolts in and tie them to see what the difference does it make. Okay, Harry, let's lift it up. With everything undone, let's remove the plate and see what we need to see. This is gonna be interesting. So here is our problem in this side. So somewhere along there where you see that white thing, so this is the place where it's shorting. I mean, we can see some markings in there. Let's see if we potentially, can I have a balls? Let's run it quickly. So that is a plastic, so in theory we shouldn't have anything, any connection with this bolt. However, let's see what's happening. So see, look how it's sparking. See. This is our leak. So through that plastic, smells like burn. Through that plastic, current is leaking from the high voltage system to the body of the car, and we have this Jaguar. Such a tiny bit, such a tiny thing, he has caused us a massive grief. Try to locate it where it can be anywhere on the car, on the high voltage system, and look what a tiny thing, it makes such a big problem. Victory, we got our part for the Jaguar. It is a second-hand part, but it looks very good. And where it was our issue, it looks quite good. So we've done an installation test and looks good. This part, brand new, it came with the distribution box in here. But this control unit doesn't have any error, so there's no need to replace it because, and together we're £3,600. We got this off internet, about £300, so massive savings. It looks good, and we're gonna transfer component from the old one to this one. The battery monitoring control system. There are some other small control units and the service connector, all gonna be equipped in here, and then we're gonna put it on. As we are ready with the new part to go on, we want to just have another test. Yeah, I'm confident there's no issue and this test is passed on the unit. This way? What do you know? Everything done here. Now is the time to go on the top and finalize it and hopefully drive it out. We're gonna get this running now. Ooh. We've got quite a few error codes, but of course some of them they are from before. So is this the moment where we manage to erase everything from the battery energy control module? We expected to see it have the old error codes, but are there any new one triggered or any of the old one do not erased? System voltage, old one, control unit internal fault. This is a new error code. It doesn't look very good, but let's see. After erasing everything, we are left with two new error codes which were not there before. After checking it out, we concluded the problem is battery energy control unit. For some reason, it has stored some permanent error codes, although there doesn't seem to be anything wrong with the high voltage battery. So we will order a new battery control unit and then resume. You've got mail. We've got a delivery. We've got the battery module control unit. Is today the sunny day that this Jaguar is going to run? Nerve-wracking a little bit, but I hope this control unit is going to help me get rid of the two permanent error codes that we're still having after fixing the installation fault. So let's hope it's going to be the day. We need to strip, get it installed. This is going to need programming. We're going to turn it on, read the codes without programming, and then we also do the programming because it has VIN number. Now, another unknown-ish is whether we can program a second-hand unit, because this is second-hand. No idea, hasn't been done before, but we're going to find out soon. Hopefully we're going to move out soon. We have decided that we're going to swap over the control unit here in the parking bay because it's quite nice today, and otherwise we have to push it. So hopefully this is going to fix it. It's not too bad once we have quite a lot of it stripped. This is done. We need to put the distribution box on and get on with it. We have two keys. This is important, but this is more important. We're gonna turn this on and then we're gonna turn the high voltage. Hold on. Now programming is done. Is it going to work?
Let's see.
Oh my god, man. No ready. No ready yet. No error codes. Let's leave it to. Sometimes after programming, you might need to let the car go in sleep mode, and only afterwards is going to resume operation. But we made significant progress because we have managed to get rid of the error codes. Oh my god. Okay, so we know now the car is in sleep mode. The next remote operation is going to wake up again, and we are just hoping the operation is going to resume on transmission and we're not going to have any error codes coming. So yeah, mileage. We have ready. We have ready. That's progress. Do we have drive? Drives! He drives! Yes! Oh my god, he drives. What the? Yeah, man. He goes. We still have SOS and there's still an error with the auxiliary battery, which you still have to look into it. But we have drive. That's good, man. Significant progress today. We are definitely one step closer to get this Jaguar on the road. And what a drama this has been. What a drama from coming in with so many things disconnected, connecting things, driving, going fine, and then not going fine, and then installation fault, fixing the installation fault, and then controlling it. Oh my God. But we get in there. And no error codes in the battery module. This is what I love to see. Good, we're gonna put it on a ramp. We still have the errors with the auxiliary battery. Don't know why. We always had them. But other than that, the car is clean. Battery monitoring, missing message, secondary battery performance or incorrect operation. It looks good, it charged. We'll see. Oh my God, I'm so happy. I'm telling you, it's good. The Jaguar is finally done, ready to go with Nick, the owner of it.
Hello, George.
Hey, yeah. This job has been a roller coaster because with so many unknown auction car. First of all, how did you decide to buy an auction car that is not running? Because this is a big gamble.
I just tried my luck, basically.
You tried your luck.
It's been online for such a long time. I bid £20 and I won it. I took the risk, basically. It was a low price, but there was a high risk. I went for it.
It was a high risk.
Yeah, I was dreading, to be honest. But in the end, yeah.
I think it paid off.
Absolutely, yeah.
Well, let's see after we do a bit of maths, because this was comprehensive. Initially, the car was stripped altogether. Did you have any notes about that, the fact that it was stripped?
No, nothing at all.
It was no mention about that?
No, it was just saying like financial repossession.
Repossession. So yeah, this was sold as a repossession.
That's it, yeah.
But, I mean, someone definitely must have looked at it the way it was stripped. They probably, because you only managed to drive it for 2 days without any issues.
That's right.
And in 2 days, how many miles you've done?
100 miles probably, yeah.
100 miles. But this is also strange. You managed to do at least 100 miles without error codes.
Yeah. Strange.
Strange, yeah.
Strange, yeah.
But anyway, yeah. After we connected everything, like Nick said, done about 100 miles, but then lights start coming on a dash. It was still rolling. It was still driving.
It was indeed, yeah.
But it was a bit harsh on...
no, it was okay. No? It was just saying drive with caution, high voltage... fault detected, something like
high voltage fault detected, yeah.
Something like that, yeah. But it was running okay.
When we read the codes, an installation fault, intermittent, which makes things a bit difficult. Took down the front motor, took down the rear motor. We couldn't find anything, put them back, and we lost the drive altogether. And then
bad luck.
Bad luck. And then we went to the battery, where eventually we found our problem. It was the distribution plate leaking current. We've replaced it, put everything on, but then we had a problem in the battery module. It was a permanent error that we couldn't clear. We thought it's the control unit because all the data from the battery was looking fine. We've got another control unit, and the control unit that we've got was not communicating with the car. And I said, more drama. Nick was waiting for the car. And I said,
keep calling me. Keep calling me.
Hold on, Nick. We've got the battery control module, but the car still doesn't run. It turned out that the old control unit was now shorting. Look. So he had a problem on the board. I'm not sure whether it was from the insulation issue, but it definitely a bit of temperature, over temperature here that has caused this to fail, and it was blowing a fuse. While we put a second unit, we managed to program it, flash it, car fault-free, and it really drives, ready to go.
Finally.
Fine. It was definitely a roller coaster. It was not just one thing. It was one after the other. It looked like, I think you probably ever asked you, are you gonna have this car running or not?
Well, yeah, I still can't believe it.
Yeah.
Am I easy working? I'm
Yeah,
not.
you have to
Test
drive
it,
it.
yeah,
You have
exactly,
to
yeah.
drive to be certain.
Exactly.
But yeah, no, it drives, and it drives. It drives very nice. So
Marvelous.
not sure. How much did it cost? How much did it cost the car?
£8,000 altogether.
£8,000.
Altogether, yeah.
So we've done the repair in 2 stages. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
How much was the first stage?
Around £1,000.
£1,000.
And something. Like
And
that.
then second stage, after we've done the installation, we had 2 parts. Luckily, both of them second hand. So the battery control unit was about 285, and this about 320. And then we agreed, no matter what it's going to be, the labor is going to be
Very kind of you. £1,000.
£1,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to push it a bit.
Yeah,
Joe said, no matter how much time I'm going to spend on it, I'm not going to charge you more than £1,000.
Yeah, no, I did, because
And that's when I felt safe. I'm like, you know, it is what it is.
yeah, it was a challenge, and I'm so glad that I took on the challenge, because to see the results afterwards, and it was an interesting job.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah,
I trusted you, yeah. So
thank you
well
very much,
done.
Uda. I really
Well done.
appreciate that. So this was the video with the Jaguar I-Pace auction, the risk that Nick took. I think it paid off in the end, even when you draw the line now.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, it did.
You're still in...
Probably if I went to the main dealer, I would have paid the cost of the car again, at least.
But what's the car value? What would you say?
Between 18 to 20K.
So you are well
Absolutely,
off.
yeah.
I'm glad.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. It was a good deal. It was a good deal.
Nick has got a good deal. We've got the Jaguar fixed, so everyone is happy. If you like the video, don't forget to like it. Subscribe to our channel for more videos from the workshop, and click the notification button so you are made aware when next video comes up. I will see you soon.
Cool.
Nick, I want to ask you something.
Absolutely, go ahead.
How would you review the experience? I mean, listen, we are here face to face.
Exactly.
Be fair.
I'm absolutely amazed, to be honest. I never met George. I came across on Facebook, saw a few videos of yours, and I was quite impressed. That's how I decided to get my car to George. Very prompt. I left a message on Facebook. He got back to me immediately, gave me his phone number, and that's how we started communicating. I dropped the car here. He kept me informed all the way, sent me videos. I got an amazing quote. So basically, it was an amazing experience, top to bottom. Highly recommend George. If I was to need you again, I'll definitely come back to you. So I'm speechless.
That's so
Well
nice
done.
to hear that. That's so
Well
nice.
done. So yeah, thank you very much
Thank you
again.
very much. I really appreciate your kind words.
And I did save a fortune, by the way. Thanks to George.
I appreciate it. One more car fixed, one more happy customer.
Absolutely,
There you go,
100%.
Nick.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, George.